Thanksgiving break. This is the Holy Rollers Campaign 2 Advexpedition. We will be one roller short this week. Kyle had to work, but got the rest of the gang together, and his lovely wife will be hoisting the cardboard cutout of his character for this campaign, or at least for tonight.
That's me for you guys who didn't know.
Yeah, I am not married to Kyle. And thank God. That is something holy that Rachel deserved.
It was established at some point in campaign 1 that Kyle and Rachel were married. At least I would hope.
Why does that sound offensive?
For all of you new folks,
Totally
you
is.
just have to understand that this just is the way it is.
Love you, Kyle, but not like that.
Oh, I mean,
Off to a great
it's
start.
And here
D&D
we
is
are.
chaos. It's just controlled chaos.
Right.
D&D with me is chaos, that's for sure.
Oh, don't remind me, Steph.
Chaos at its best.
Jesse is the one who had our highest roll for prayer, so Jesse will be opening us, as we always, with prayer.
All right. Dear Lord, thank you, Lord, for this evening. Thank you, Lord, that we get together and just play and have fun together and fellowship together. I pray, Lord, that you will bless tonight, bless the story, bless the time together, that we'll have a lot of fun, and that we will just glorify you with what we say and do. I pray, Lord, for anyone who's listening, Lord, now or later, Lord, that they will see you and what you've done for us in our actions and our words. I pray, Lord, that you will just be with each person tonight and be with our roles. And I pray, Lord, that you just bless Joffrey as he is telling the story. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Man.
All right, so I'm going to waste any more time, so get back into it. As our first episode finished, we had our intrepid adventurers, who had just, for the first time for some of them, met up together. Basile Warmaster, Bram Rursk X, Cinnamon Leafheart, Drakthor the Drakthor, Minerva Bentwood, and Uli Noor. These 6 adventurers had been called across the continent of Valem about an expedition that was being undertaken by all of the various kingdoms and nations. Selected as tributes, either voluntarily or voluntold. They'd all come to the capital city of Cornell, Lovunk, and after very boring political introductions, some more impressive than others, some more fascinating than others, they were all called out and assembled as a team. They met their team handler, a portly little halfling named Finn Greenstride, and he had given them each the gold allotment as first payment, as well as their badge of office, so to speak. Basically, all members of the expedition have a brooch that solidifies and states that they are part of this expedition. He did state that you have to have it on you because it's the only thing that verifies that you are part of the expedition and not just a freeloader.
Why you would want to freeload on this, I will never know.
Some quizzing questions were asked. Some bubbles had been broached just a little bit. But for the most part, forced to work together are intrepid adventurers, not yet named as a group. Don't hate each other.
Yet.
Neither have they completely warmed up to working together with the very colorful cast that they find themselves part of. And as dawn breaks, the next day, we are going to return to our story. Does anyone wish to go first in this particular instance?
So Drakthor is going to so it's morning. We're just waking up, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Okay. Drakthor is going to make it down because he's generally an early riser, being someone of the outdoors. He's going to go down, get something to eat, drink, check his supplies, stuff like that, get a table. Kind of see what the general consensus is of everybody as they come down to see what they're like in the morning.
Oh, you already have seen Basile. He's back behind the bar trying to help cook.
Yeah, you come down and you don't know how he managed, whether he bribed or whether the cooking staff just refused to throw him out. But you see what you now know as the chef of your little group back in the kitchen. He has a white chef hat on, and he is cooking up a storm.
Okay, so as I get over would he see me, or I just see the back of him and he's just busy?
He probably wouldn't have noticed you.
Let's see. Okay, I know you're puppeting him right now. Cinnamon. With a nat 20, whatever,
Wow.
with whatever his perception is, he is aware of you and almost showing off, turns, flipping a flapjack, waves, catches it without looking, and then brings it back to the stove.
He's just that good.
So as he does that, Draxor says, "Good morning, Basile. Nice to see you this early in the morning." And then gets his stuff and goes and sits down.
Good morning. What do you want to eat?
Whatever you're cooking.
Flapjacks
Cool.
it is.
Go ahead, Cinnamon. Sorry for taking that roll away from you. Go ahead and just give me at advantage. Let's make it for food. Let's say sleight of hand.
For Basile?
Yes. Actually, sleight of hand's not right. Let's do straight intelligence.
Ooh. You might need to roll for him, because I'm not rolling great. Straight intelligence, huh? That would
Yeah.
be a 10.
10. Okay. So, Drakthor, you get your food, you sit down. This is his cooking. I mean, it's not the worst thing you have had, but this is also not the best that you've. Suppose someone that presents themselves as a chef. Actually, would Drakthor even know what a chef is?
Probably not.
He probably
would-
just see someone who would give him food.
And actually, at this place, he would probably just scarf the food down without worrying about the taste.
Fair enough.
I mean, I hate to say that, but his
Food
upbringing,
is food.
yeah,
with
good,
that- With that kind of roll, I'm kind of glad.
bad. Yeah, the other one, the highborn one, with pistols. That's the one you need to impress.
Yeah.
True.
On that, Graham, let's move over to you. What's your morning look like?
Well, as I roll out of one of the most uncomfortable beds that my body has ever had to lay upon,
Oh, just wait.
I quickly will just kind of do a quick glance at my firearms, make sure everything is pristine. I will make my way downstairs. Ah, yes, little dwarf man. Food me, if you will.
You gotta tell me what you want.
Chef's choice, but it better be good.
Flapjacks it is.
All right, I will roll for flapjacks 2.
I would probably, and I'm not in. Food for me was always a survival thing.
You know what? That actually makes sense. Let's do survival. What's his wisdom modifier?
Well, he's an 18, so it's got to be like
Plus
a plus
4.
4. Yeah.
All right. You sit down. You have your flapjacks with 18.
Wow.
Begrudgingly, they're not bad.
Not my, this dwarf certainly does know how to cook.
So you only put a little bit of maple syrup. You don't just drown them in maple syrup.
Actually, I am of refined taste, sir. I will take my syrup on the side and cut little bits and dip it in.
Who is this, sir? You're speaking.
You're doing the cutting, sir.
You correct the narrator. No.
Dractor looks at him like, "What are you doing to that food?"
You're not a child. Cut your own food.
It's
And it
that
goes back
it's
to
that
making
Deadpool
flapjacks.
moment. Break the fourth wall and be like, excuse me, no. I will cut these and dip them.
Yeah, there's your
Hey,
one.
you know what? I'm a
Dractor
different
pulls his
dude,
short
so
Dractor pulls his short swords out and says, "You want me to cut what?" I'm just joking. I didn't really do that.
Drakthor, I need you to please roll me a
uh-oh.
I did it.
intelligence.
Intelligence.
Hey, at least it
Okay.
wasn't a con save. You didn't get food poisoning.
Actually, no, it's save. Intelligence save.
Okay. 12.
Even with the 12, you don't think this is, even in a joking manner, you don't think this is probably a wise course of action. This would be very stupid.
Yeah. He doesn't actually. He does think about it though.
Yes, which is why I had you roll for it. I'm like, no, that actually makes. How socially inept is he in the big city? Let's check this. Let's just check this.
Right.
Better watch what you say, Dennis.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta remember that.
Oh,
As this minor conundrum of Drakthor being dumbfounded by utensils and Bram just cutting food into smaller portions.
Yeah.
Or
Because Draxor went like this with the plate.
Minerva,
hmm.
you're up.
So Minerva got up before the dawn and was reconning like the immediate area and would be coming in through the front door. But seeing some of her teammates down already from sleep, she would probably try to just kind of like sidle up to whoever was like sitting at the bar and quietly take a seat. Whether she's noticed or not is not necessarily an intention, but it may nonetheless be a consequence of how quietly she moves. So
Let's do that stealth first for you. We're just going
Okay.
to go against everyone's passive for this.
so it'd be just a normal roll for me.
Yes, normal stealth, and no one else is going to roll. We're just going to go against their passive.
One moment. 14.
14.
Yeah, I don't see her.
I don't either.
would Basile have?
No.
Caesar.
No, he is to work in the kitchen, so you beat out
Okay.
everyone's perception. However, how long were you out? And what exactly were you reconning?
I was just kind of maybe sitting on a roof somewhere out of sight in a shadow and just watching like what morning looks like in this town with all of these different people who are all here for the same end. I would want to notice if any of my fellow adventurers from other teams were stumbling home drunk in the morning. I would want to notice if any of them came out of alleyways with like a furtive look in their eye. I would want to notice any glaring weaknesses.
Okay, give me a investigation just to cover the couple hours you were out, since this is more direct.
23.
23. So
18 on the die.
you spend a couple hours in that wee early morning before the sun even begins to give hints of rising, and you don't see any of your teammates. You do see a couple drunkards on the street. At
Not
this
necessarily
point,
my teammates, but people from other groups. Does that make
at
sense?
this understand. At this point, I would say it's very hard, even with your kind of keen eye, to determine just from a passing glance who is and who isn't part of this whole shindig. Lots of drunks, lots of sober. Say, wow, many have switched to this die. This is the fourth nat 20 it's rolled.
Jeez. I'm afraid to roll my die.
Me too.
Catch a couple, one or two individuals that may or may not look like they might be on more discreet endeavors. But there's a part of your brain that when you sit down, saddle up to the bar, you kind of proverbially smack yourself in the head. I only caught 2. That means there was at least 5 that got away from me that I just didn't catch.
So I'm already rolling up to breakfast sour as hell.
Yeah, because your training, you know, who you catch is only the small percentage of the ones that are actually out. So the fact you only caught 2,
Yeah.
you know there was probably 5, if not more people that just passed right in front of you and just flew under your radar.
Oh yeah.
Also because they rolled a nat 20 on their chicanery, so...
So when Basil, I assume he asks everybody what they want for breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah, but you snuck in.
Well, he's going to turn around and just notice me there, but I didn't make any noise. So when he asks me and he comes over to me, I'm going to just politely grip him by the collar, not in a threatening way, but in an emphatic way, and just say, I require as much bacon as you have in your possession. And if it is not sharply crisp enough to cut the roof of my mouth, I will cut you.
Half a pig on coals. Got it.
Half a pig uncle.
Make a deck.
God dang it. I love
Minerva?
it. Kronk, you're straight up Kronk.
Make a dexterity save.
Me?
That's-
Yes.
That's pretty much what Basile is supposed to be.
19.
You sigh as Basile goes in, and you, without looking, just catch the mug that comes flying from his direction, and just without thinking, coffee.
Thank you, Basil.
Comes up.
So are you sitting like next to us?
Yeah.
No, she's
that
at the.
Oh, wait, the bar? Are y'all not at the bar?
No, they're at a table.
Yeah, we're at a
Oh, okay.
table.
You specifically
Okay.
said the bar, so you're separate from
Yeah.
the group at this moment. And
Since they haven't
you
noticed
both-
me yet, I'm
Nope.
going to turn around and look at them. What are they doing?
I'm
You
eating.
see Bram and an empty plate. Drackthor just going, looking incredulously at Bram. Just
If you eat it that slowly, everyone's going to take it from you. What are you doing?
Yeah, probably seriously considering. Is he going to eat that? Because if not, I'm.
Would I notice that he keeps eyeing me and my food?
He's not hiding it.
he's not hiding it. You don't have to roll. It's very obvious that Drackthor. His name was Drackthor. Seems a little unaccustomed to the proper way of things.
I'm gonna take out my pepper box and put it on the table.
For the folks at home, pistol.
Yes. Yeah.
So, probably not knowing what that is either, Tractor is now looking at that to his food,
If you try
wondering.
to eat it, I will shoot you in your face.
Yeah, he's just looking at it like another utensil. I wonder what he uses that utensil for. He already cuts it small. What's he do with that?
Drackthor. At disadvantage.
Of course.
Roll me an investigation.
Well, it's already a 0, so
Well, at least you can't go negative.
That's right.
18.
You say all this, but there's a little voice in the back of your head that starts raising a flag. That looks familiar. The pepper box looks familiar.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You don't know why, but there's an uneven or uneasy sinking in your stomach after about 2 seconds. You don't know why. There's nothing to connect it to. But seeing him place that gun, there's some minute sense of recollection of what this is.
Hmm.
And also, keep in mind for the folks at home, firearms are incredibly rare on Valen. Only Rinsior has them. This is not common. Drackthor, you recognize what this is.
So Draxor kind of looks at it, looks back up at him, kind of just stands up with his plate and walks back over and, Bazil, can I have more food?
You see him look away from a pan filled with bacon and it's on fire. Coming right up. What do you want?
Whatever that is.
Half a pig on the rocks? Or On the
Sure.
rocks, on the coals. He'll just thumbs up.
And,
That's it.
and
Thumbs up.
so I guess as I get up there, now do I notice?
Roll a
Notice her?
perception check proper at this point to see.
Oh, this is kind of fun.
We're all for having fun here.
Oh my gosh, 8.
Nope.
Probably didn't even notice her.
Don't even notice.
Didn't even
Feel the
recognize
back
her.
of your head starting to
Hungry.
heat up for some reason as I glare at you for trying to take my bacon.
No, I'm still a little upset about that shiny thing I just saw with a guy that's cutting his food so small that a raccoon could eat it.
And on that, Uli, we cut to you.
Well, I was awake with the sunrise, but I stayed inside to conserve as much energy as I could. But I'm finally at the place where I need to probably join the others. However, I did eat in my room. I ate leftover rations that I brought with me. So I will head down and join everybody. Probably definitely towards one of the last people to arrive.
You see Bram finishing about half of his plate on the table. You see Drakthor over by the bar kind of yelling into the kitchen. You see, turning around, you see Bazil with a plate full of twigs, burnt twigs, and just kind of throw it down the bar to one of the other patrons.
I think he would look at Uli and be like, "What do you want?"
I'm good. on
Minerva, your
breakfast. Thank-
bacon.
As he's serving the bacon, he's going to ask what he wants.
I'm good, Bazil. I appreciate it though, but I am fine for breakfast.
Bazil is incredibly offended.
no,
I
no,
thought-
seriously.
my friend,
No,
Yeah,
seriously.
no,
What are you
no,
gonna have?
Yeah, he's like incredibly offended.
My friend, I am fine, thank you. I appreciate you, and I will sample your cooking many times on the road. But for this morning,
Coffee, got
I'm
it.
well.
You're-
You don't eat no meat? I think you lamb.
Exactly.
You're on my shit list, buddy.
Language.
Sorry, I was trying to think of a better word.
You're on his manure list, buddy.
You're in my black book.
You would have one.
Uli, roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, 14.
You get to the bottom of the stairs and you have to two hands catch as a mug comes flying at your face,
Uh,
and it is
thank
full
you,
of
my
coffee.
friend. I'll smell it, but I won't drink it.
Basile might not like you very much. Just saying.
Well, I won't make it obvious. I'll hold it. I will
Oh.
cradle the coffee.
Can we roll to see if Basile notices?
Yes, go ahead and roll a investigation. And
Okay.
Uli, are you trying to hide the fact that you are not drinking the coffee?
Yes, yeah, I'm trying not to.
It
be
doesn't
offended.
matter. He rolled a 9.
I was gonna
Total.
say,
Oh no,
if,
sorry, 8.
if he'd have rolled
Like
a
the-
nat 20, then Uli needs to roll initiative.
Told you there'd be combat.
Well, we've already had
Yeah.
2 mugs flying through the air. And a
I
pepper.
also rolled an 8 for my sleight of hand.
Ooh.
Meets beats. He does not notice. You
I was gonna
just
say which one meets and which one beats though.
he was trying to hide the fact. So he successfully hid.
Ah.
Barely.
Fair.
So I'd say Uli sheepishly smiles, but Bazile's like, but half the kitchen catches on fire, and so his attention is back to the
all that
the food.
bacon.
No, the bacon's been delivered. It's on to the next thing. So, Uli, you see Drakthor trying to yell another order in, and yep, it's the only other person in here is Bram.
With pepper on the table.
Yes,
Uh,
with a gun on the table.
If the gun's on the table, can I roll a check to see if I know what
Your
it
back,
is?
your back is turned at the
Mm.
moment.
But I
so
did
you
say
don't
I was
know.
looking over at him.
DM, my passive perception is 20. Wouldn't I see? Would I not see?
Oh, that's right. Your passive is 20. You recognize Minerva as the patron who's eating the bacon. You do have a very high passive, which would beat out your stealth. So
That's
you are aware that Minerva is at the bar away from Bram.
Well, so when she looks over to check out the powder box, I'll just nod my head and raise my cup of coffee to her, and a good morning, a silent good morning, and then I'll sit at the table with the rest.
I'm stirring my coffee with a bacon stick and just stop.
And then, good morning, gentlemen. How did everyone sleep?
I'm at the bar.
Oh, good morning, sir. How are you this morning? I'm talking to
Brand.
Grant.
want-
Graham.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
So, just like from under the brim of his hat, he's just gonna kind of shoot you. Just not really a menacing look, but not really a morning person.
I see. I understand. Well, and he's going to put his coffee down on the table. I'll be right back. I know just the thing. And he's going to get up and he's going to casually knock over his coffee into Bram's lap. As he's getting up, he's going to try and make it look like an accident.
Okay. Uli, sleight of hand.
Holy
Ram.
cow.
Deck save.
Well, you're not the one I thought was going to end up rolling initiative, but okay.
I rolled a dirty 20.
That
Oh my
one.
gosh.
Oh, what?
And
Hey.
let's just say you won't be entertaining any company for a while.
Okay. Bram, you take 5 points of damage as searing coffee just
Very vulnerable damage.
very vulnerable damage. Uli, child's play. No one else in the room that you're aware of would even think that you intentionally did that. It was so smooth.
Oh my dear, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pat him and accidentally like mess up his jacket. Just kind of like I'm just messing with him basically. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, let me go get some towels for you. You know, and turn and just kind of like bump him again. As he's trying.
I'm gonna with
I'll go over to
my
the bar.
8 strength, I am going to shove him as hard as I can.
He's not going to move.
Eh.
Oh,
You know what? Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Move.
Let's see how this is.
It'd be funny.
A 14.
Brandon the man is strong. Bram the character, not so
Not
much.
so much.
It's like trying to push an oak tree that has been rooted for hundreds of years.
So I sound like that turtle from the video on the shoe.
It's you only say make one noise because you immediately realize A, how pathetic you sound, and B, how pathetic this looks.
I'm gonna pee. Stop.
I'm going to
Oh.
I'm going to
Oh.
cuss
I'm
under
chuckling to myself. I will turn and walk to the bar and join Drakthar and Minerva at the bar.
so as I'm like patting myself off, I am cursing under my breath and staring at the pepper box.
He's really thinking about it.
I
As
thought-
Uli
Devlin had a rough introduction inside the party.
as Uli comes up to the bar, Draxor kind of I'm assuming with all the notion he's already turned, that he greets him. Morning, Uli.
Good morning, Drakthar, and he will put it out his hand for a hand grasp.
And Draktor puts out his hand and tries to figure out what he's supposed to be doing with it, so he just kind of grabs his arm.
And Olu will just go with it and give it a good shake. How was your evening?
Good, how was yours?
It was very restful. It is always nice to have a bed.
Yeah, we won't have one for long.
It'll be like normal.
I know how to make it comfortable, though.
I look forward to hearing your tricks and tips, and I will be glad to share mine as well.
Try
Minerva,
this.
how was your evening?
Me?
Yes.
You broke up. Minerva has softened her bacon just enough that she can actually chew it because
Because she
You
got
asked-
coal.
You asked for it on the coals.
I got what I asked for. It's the taste I like. I like things burnt. And I stop with it in my mouth like a pocky stick. And I'm like, insightful.
Drakthor,
Thanks.
Minerva's been there apparently the whole time.
Yeah, when did you get here?
Like, a while ago. I ordered food and everything. You didn't know I was here?
No.
Okay, so-
That.
So, out of curiosity, can we roll to see if Minerva would have noticed that she sidled up next to Cinnamon?
That is valid. Would I have
It
noticed?
is
if I-
valid. I was gonna say, and cinnamon.
She's
First-
literally just sitting there at the bar, watching
Cinnamon?
this all go down.
Are you trying to stay hidden?
No, I'm just sitting there.
Okay, Minerva.
Hmm.
Give me a investigation. Only because
24.
okay.
Wow.
I can see how many hours of sleep she got based on the circles under her eyes.
So I guess we have to canonically state that Minerva has been aware you've been there this entire time, Cinnamon. As we now cut to Cinnamon.
And she chose to sit by me. Mm.
And not say a damn word to you.
Didn't say anything to me.
That's true.
So
We
Cinnamon.
have a mutual agreement.
Draxor is just amazed that both females are over there, and he didn't even notice either of them.
So before you decide to, I guess, always be present at this scene,
Yeah. Yeah.
by the way, Rachel, touche. What was
I-
Cinnamon's morning?
I had decided, like, back with Bazile, that Cinnamon was gonna be sitting at the bar, just watching.
Watching this
watching
all.
out. Yeah, watching this all go down.
So then, Cinnamon specifically, as you have watched you specifically, as you are the muscle, clearly, and have now seen the morning versions of your unfortunate compatriots. What are your thoughts?
We're gonna die out there. That's exactly how she feels about that. She'll even say that to Minerva. Why not?
At the present.
I look over at you over my stick of stick bacon and say, "Speak for yourself."
If we've got to be with this lot, ugh, I can't even imagine.
I'm
Did you
sure there are-
snicker? Actually, Cinnamon, since you have always been down here, go ahead and roll me a perception.
I don't roll good. Oh, nat 20. Apparently I do roll good.
For
Plus 24.
you completely catch exactly what Uli did.
And she is not going to say a word.
Nope.
Because that was hilarious.
Otherwise, oh wait, she's there. She would have watched all that take place. You know what? Let's see if she catches on that. Nope, she knows that was intentional.
Yeah. But she also thinks that he kind of deserves it, so she's not going to say anything.
Fair enough.
You're
Actually, I
on
take that
the
back.
list
She
for campaign
definitely-
3.
So I will say Draxor will probably look over at Uli and say, "What's wrong with him?" Because he had his back turned to the whole thing. He wouldn't have seen it. So he
Oh,
Who are
asked.
you talking to?
Yeah, he asked Uli, "What's wrong with him?" Talking about the Mr. High and Mighty over there.
He's has a little bit of trouble drinking coffee, apparently.
Can I
Mm.
infer what Uli did with my back turned? Just
At
by what he
this-
just said.
Uli says this with a grin, a cocky grin. So
You know, I'll remove the disadvantage for that. Give me a investigation.
Insider
No.
investigation.
Insight.
It would be a 17 on the die plus 2 is 19.
I would say you're convinced, but you can't say for certain. Because he just beat you out. So you don't know if that's actually something he would do or not. But the part of your brain goes, I mean, it's what I would do. If I could get away with it, which I could.
I'm starting to like this Furbolg.
So when Uli says that to him,
hold on. I am human.
Oh, I thought you were a Furbolg. I apologize.
He's human.
so when Uli tells
As far as we're
Draxler that,
aware.
As far as you're aware,
Oh,
he's
pardon me.
human.
so when Uli tells Draxler that he had a problem drinking his coffee, Draxler asks him, did he burn himself?
Apparently.
Draxler turns around to the bar. I need water.
Define water.
Uli
Cup of
will
water.
try really
I need a
hard
cup
to
of
hold
water.
him there. Oh,
Can-
yes. Let's get some water. Help him out here.
Can Bazil toss water like he's been tossing coffee?
You know what? Draxthor, dexterity save.
Well, that ought to be fun.
Oh, I have
17.
started. All right. Mug of water comes flying towards you. You catch it.
He walks over to Bram, looks over at him, throws the water at him. Don't want you to burn. Uh-oh. Pretty
Cinnamon's
sure-
gonna. Sorry.
I was gonna say, pretty sure that Draxor would think that that is the best thing that he could do, because his companion's burning. Water helps.
Bram,
Mm-hmm.
you need to make a composure check. I have a feeling you're going to need to make a composer check. So let's say, Con. How well you holding together there, buddy?
21.
Oh.
Are there... Is this like a typical tavern and there would be 5 to 6, like, tankards kind of hanging from the ceiling above the bar?
No, I would say that it's a atypical tavern in that all the mugs are actually over on the bar side behind the counter. So where you are presently at, there's a light fixture with candles. That's it. So there isn't aside from your own mug of coffee, that's the only. Oh, Dractor, did you place the mug of now empty water down on the table, or do you still hold that?
Oh, I'm still holding it.
Okay, so Bram, there's only one potential projectile that's currently mug-sized within your grasp.
Okay. But there are mugs on the back of the bar.
Bar side, yes.
Okay.
Would be you'd have to get up to get over towards them because they're not over by you, but yes.
So with a 15, I'm going to pick up my pepper box and I'm going to shoot 6 mugs without missing, reload, and sit down.
Cinnamon's gonna look over at Minerva. I stand corrected. They're gonna die
Yeah.
before we get out there.
Yeah, you all watch as, or Drakthor, you splash the water. You see, it didn't do anything because he's getting redder now. You can actually almost see steam coming off of him. Without looking, he grabs the weapon over towards the bar, and in 6 quick processions, without reloading, boom, 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 boom. 6 tankards get hit perfectly right where, because it's horn, they're holding them. The tip where it was holding gets hit. So not like the above, the part that actually is holding the tankard gets hit. And then he just places the pepper box back on the table and just
That one has some anger issues.
You don't say.
I could
Oh,
take
Everyone-
poor boy.
I'm
Everyone-
trying to do my response. I'm carefully, so keep going. I'm thinking.
okay.
How would Draxor respond to that?
Are you kidding me?
What?
Okay, so this is the very first die set I have ever owned. That's the same color. It's the very first die set I bought for myself. So it's my first die set ever. That is the 5th nat 20 this has rolled tonight.
Wow.
You get
Dag
this
on.
dice.
Yes, they're DM dice. So
You're not allowed to
busting
use those in
through
combat.
Nope.
Yeah.
Calling it now.
busting through the door of the tavern, 3 guards at the sound of gunfire with swords drawn come in. What seems to be the problem here? Kind of like looking around looking for a fight or an intruder.
Uli is just
I-
going to point at Brom.
I'm gonna hold your hand down and be like, if he goes to jail for 24 hours, he's gonna have to talk himself out, and then we're gonna be delayed leaving.
Well, it might be better to go without him.
I don't deny that. But I'd also rather have that on my team than rotting in a jail cell.
So Draxor looks over at the guard and says, somebody shot something.
He went that way. No.
and turns around, puts the glass on the thing, and sits down and just kind of wonders why he's not getting any more food. He ordered it.
You've had your food, man.
Or this isn't a Denny's.
I
Oh,
want
no.
more.
Kind of like that Old West saloon patron where, somebody pops off and nobody
Okay.
flinches.
The guards aren't going to be racist.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Well,
That
the
would have ended badly
Dragonborn,
for them.
the Dragonborn spoke up.
Yeah.
And Dragonborn are very rare. They don't know what the intelligence of certain Dragonborn are. And the Dragonborn was the one that spoke up.
I'm
They're
gonna.
they look-
I'm just gonna I'm gonna stand up and just take my pepper box and put it back in its holster, and I'm just going to walk up to the guards, and I'm going to flash them my other badge, and just tell them they can be on their way.
Actually, no, I gotta do that at advantage. Okay, no. 2 of the guards are about to say something, but the third one that rolled the 6th nat 20.
Woohoo!
I'm going to remember this die set. There's a reason I have this as my DM die set, but now, oh boy.
Place of honor somewhere.
Just places his hands over the 2 mouths. I trust, sir, that there was a needed and valid reason to discharge your weapon in such a place.
Of course, do
only
you not
ask-
see now that my leather pants are ruined?
I do see that now, sir, indeed. I just, if I may, if you could refrain from discharging your weapon for the remainder of the time that you're in your city, we wouldn't have to get involved. You understand we're just trying to do our job. We don't want to have to get involved in Inquisition affairs. My apologies. Just be more careful next time, sir. We're going. And just grabs the other two guards and just pulls them out and just leaves the tavern.
I'm gonna tip my hat and just say, good day.
So you all watch as Bram almost without, but just like a shrug, just sends 3 guards scampering.
That one is either going to
That's a
prove
nifty
incredibly
trick.
dangerous or incredibly useful. Or both.
Probably both.
Or neither. We
that
are going
point-
into Middle-earth.
Draxor really doesn't have a thought about it.
The door of the tavern.
Draxor doesn't have many thoughts.
It does
Not
not.
does.
much going on
He just
up
doesn't
there.
keep them in.
The door opens, and a now familiar portly halfling comes in. What was that about? Oh, good morning, Bram.
Green Strider.
Oh, Uli! Wait. Where's our chef?
Cooking.
Basil, stop what you're doing and get over here. Please.
Oh, but don't tell me he's in the kitchen.
Where else do you think he would be?
Oh, well then, tell him is, to make up for that fact, he better come out here with some very delicious foods.
He busts through the door. Did someone say food? And he's got like this big plate.
He's got a Grand Slam special.
Right?
Draxor is like, is that my other order?
You didn't order another one, sir.
I did.
I gave you the half bacon already.
He does the Emperor's New Groove, kicks the door open, boom, baby!
Baby, baby.
Pretty much.
I'll allow it.
As you should.
So the plate he will hop up, grab the plate, and just plop himself down at the table. Welcome, sit. And just dives into second breakfast.
Beautiful.
Draxor is staring at that breakfast, just so you know. Debating whether or not he's going to take some. Because he's looking at the plump little halfling going, I think I can take him.
Draxor is going to end up getting shot in this campaign. I'm just calling it now.
Look, I rolled a very solid Dragonborn that's got very low
He's
intelligence.
he's good at what he needs to be, and that's it.
That's what matters, yeah.
You'll survive under him. You're gonna want to kill him every other time, but he'll get you to where you need to go.
You thought Better Duck was dumb?
Oh, that's saying something.
We'll sit down. Well, Green Strider, what's on the agenda for today? I believe you said something about picking up supplies.
He clears his mouth. Grabs Bram's mostly empty coffee mug that has a little bit of coffee left.
While he does that, Draxler reaches over and grabs a little bit of food.
Dangerous
Roll
with
sleight
a
of hand.
halfling. That's
Okay.
real dangerous with a halfling.
Oh, God. It's a 6. It
With
was
the
a
s-
16 and it flipped over.
With the
Ah,
7, a hand just comes up and just smacks your dragonborn claw away.
Can Basile just like whip out a random giant leg of meat and just like hand it?
I'll allow. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna
so-
lean over to Cinnamon and say, I'm worried if we don't keep that one fed, he's gonna start eating the team.
He might start with the guy with pepper.
He'll probably die first.
Ooh. Basil, that was exquisite. Cinnamon, you have a wonderful partner if you haven't been told already.
I am well aware. Thank you. And Basile bows.
All right, so just a couple order of business. I'm actually just here to make sure you're all alive and actually not drunk, hungover, or anything. In fact, because you are my team after all. On that, kind of produces a piece of paper. Just something to be thinking about. We are going to need a team name of some kind, a designation. Of course, the expedition has its code for you as being under Green Strider, but I feel like, well, it's not very adventuring party-esque. If there's an actual code's name for our team that we could give to the higher-ups, I think it would bring us all together. So just something to be thinking about throughout the day. You have today to purchase any other supplies or equipment that you might need with your funds. You just have to be outside the city gates by sundown. You will not be sleeping in a tavern inn such as this. We're actually going to be beginning to sleep out in the stars, as the wild folk do.
Way to make
Drakthor
it sound
you see Drakthor
luxurious.
smile.
Anyways, so just if you're not outside by the city gates by sundown, you're off the team. However, and he brings out a rolled scroll that is some technical details that I do need to bring up. He proceeds to read Bram and Minerva. You two would recognize this as a legal document that he is having to recite, binding the team and explaining the minutia of what is expected of them, what they are able to do, what they are not able to do. Bram, this is common to you. I'd say, Uli, you're just... It's high speak. You're not familiar with this high speak, but you are aware that this is some kind of legally binding document.
It's
Cinnamon.
more legal jargon.
Yeah. Cinnamon,
Alright,
Basil,
blaze over it, go.
Yeah.
We're way too dumb.
yeah, and
Drakthor's eating that leg of whatever he got.
you know what? Eeny, meeny, miny, Birdman. Ham.
Okay. He's eating a ham.
An entire ham shank.
Right?
Yeah,
Ah.
pretty much. That's what I envisioned. Just like this big,
Mhm.
like chonkin.
Honestly, that sounds delicious.
Actually,
Yeah,
this.
for real though.
So the only things I'm going to say above 10% of anything the party finds is required to be sent to the expedition as a whole. The other 90% is available for distribution within the party as finders keepers. Basically, any monetary funds or items the party encounters throughout this campaign, they're being told they are required that 10% of that goes back to the expedition as a tithe.
I was going to
Or
suggest. Tithe. Go on. That was
So
going to be the word I used.
if Drakthor caught that, all he's thinking of is how he's going to cut 10% of a rabbit to send it back, or 10% of a raccoon, because that's his mindset.
Yeah. It does. I will say that for the rest of you, it does say 10% of anything of monetary value.
Okay.
Well, for Tractor, that would be of value.
For Drakthor, yes, that would make sense. I would say Minerva, Bram, you both, as the more legalese educated. This is a sealed document. They are crossing their T's, they are dotting their I's. You have to roll your eyes at the fact that they have to say this. But there's a small part of you that, well, they're making an effort to spell it in black and white to make some kind of profit off this venture. What's expected of us, so.
I immediately wonder, what are they hoping that we find?
Bram, do you have any thoughts at actually understanding the full extent of what is being asked of you?
Braden?
No,
You're talking with-
yeah,
There you are.
I was kind of thinking through. I think Bram has a really solid grasp of exactly what they're doing. He's just going to keep it to himself for now.
So, Finn kind of. It takes, I'd say, 5 minutes of straight reading to get through the document. Whew, whew, whew. I'm sorry for all that. That's. Still too early for that. It's just part of the expedition, the legal documents. So, if you would all, would you mind signing just at the bottom here?
Tractor has no clue what he's asking him to do.
Do you have a signature? Do you understand the concept of the signature?
No.
Take your claws and do just like 3 little whoop, hole punch. Just
That's what he does. He takes his claw and.
close enough.
Finn will make a little amendment of Drakthor and makes his initials right above. That it's legally binding.
Yes. Minerva will sign in such a way that her handwriting it's like a signature, you know how you do as an adult where it's not quite legible, but like the M is there.
Right. It's enough to pass. He doesn't take notice of your last name. Bram?
I want to just like quickly skim through the document. Is there anything shady in there?
Give me an investigation, if you would please.
The legal document, everything's shady.
Right?
That's right.
Does
An
anyone-
11.
I mean, it sounds on the up and up from what you have. He was just reading aloud. There's a small, very small voice in your head that says there's probably some kind of hidden clause or a rider somewhere that is going to potentially screw us, but it's.
I guess let me rephrase my question. Is there anything in the document that he did not read out loud?
Sure. As far as you are aware, based on that roll, he read everything aloud to you. He has no obvious reason to withhold information from you. So as far as you are aware, that everything he said is what is in this document.
Okay. I'm going to sign it, but I'm just going to sign it Brambursk. I'm not going to label it the 10th with a 16 sleight of hand.
He does not take note at that. Cinnamon and Uli.
Uli will sign it.
Cinnamon is gonna do a C and then scribbles and then L and Scribbles.
Bazil? Oh, man, I wish Kyle was here to.
I feel like Bazil would probably have like very like good handwriting, but he would probably draw like a little egg or a frying pan at the very end.
And you know what? Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Let's. Well, it was a cracked egg because it didn't work out. It looks. Finn kind of looks at that and it's just supposed to be a rock. A seal rock.
He dots his eyes with eggs.
But they look like ink splatters because he rolled a 4. So Bazil has no artistic capabilities in this moment.
Nope.
And then at the very bottom, Finn will actually sign himself. There we are. May I officially, if not already, welcome you to this expedition? Be thinking about what name you would like our little group, our specific little group, to be called. We should have that within a couple of days so I can let my higher-ups know. I'm just going to take this over to them right now. So, the rest of the day is yours to do with as you will. Remember, you have to be outside the main city gates by sundown. By this point, it is around, I say, 9 in the morning. Sundown would not be until about 7 p.m., give or take. So, a good amount of time. Do you have any other questions for me? Well, I have you here. Oh, by the way, Bazil. Oh, that was a great second breakfast. You are an amazing cook. I am so looking forward to taking my meals with you.
He bows. I don't know how you're going to do that because I'm going to be out in the middle of nowhere, but okay.
Well,
Are you
just
coming
as
with
long
us?
as-
Oh, yes, I'm your group handler. I'm a representative of the rest of the main force.
You're coming to the Flokar Wild with us.
Yes, as part of the main expeditionary force. I'm just this group's liaison to the main force.
I am now going to say out loud, under my breath, not trying to hide it, we're all gonna die.
Oh, bruh. No, you're very quite right, bruh. No, I'm not part of your group. I'm the handler of your group.
Right, so you're the reason we're going to die. Got it. Thank you.
You know what? On that part, you are very fair, bro. Unfortunately, you're very fair on that assessment. I'm the one who gives you your assignments. I'm not going with you on your assignments.
Traktor is just kind of gnawing on the bone and like, okay.
If you are our handler and concerned with our well-being, perhaps you might tell us where we would find supplies that have not already been exhausted by every other team in this city.
This is actually my second time in the city, so I actually don't really know. Oh, he fishes out a little second document. Right. There's a couple places I can tell you that could be of note. Give me 1 second. Dives in and well, there's a general goods store that's just around the corner that should have basic materials. There is an apothecary a little ways down, a bit more of a walk, and there is unfortunate, and I say unfortunate because there is only one magic item store in this entire area. And that is all the way at the other end of the city.
Wonderful.
Let me get the name, actually. You're looking for Giovanni's.
Giovanni's.
Giovanni's is the name of the magic store. Hector's is the name of the apothecary, and the general goods store. You are looking for Bartholomew.
Bartholomew's, Hector's, Giovanni's.
Can I have that
Wonderful.
one more time? Out of
So
character.
the magic store, he just says the name Giovanni's.
That tracks.
The apothecary, he gives the name Hector's, and the general goods store is Bartholomew's. Giovanni's is on the other side of the city. He says Bartholomew's is Catty Corner, and then Hector's is just a little ways down.
Well, I suppose we should start closest.
I would agree with that. So,
Drakthor is going to kind of stay with Uli just because he kind of trusts him. Doesn't really like the rest of you, but
Are you going to be So at this point, are you all going to be dispersing? Are you going as one group? I know one or two of you have specific things that you wanted.
well, I'm more looking for general goods and health potions and whatnot. So I suggest we go as a group just so that we can help make sure everybody gets what they needs. But I'm totally open if we want to try and split off and try and help, but I don't believe that will be as efficient. Downside will be that more teams will get supplies first. So that is my input.
Your
Okay,
handler
well,
does specify that you are not the only adventurers in town. And he just states that the nearest apothecary and general goods store is Hector's and Bartholomew's, but the only magic goods store is Giovanni's.
maybe we should start further afield.
Yeah.
And we can work our way back, I guess, and then pick up our items and head out.
Giovanni's it is.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go,
All right.
Bazil.
All right. Green Strider, can you point us in the right direction?
Yes. So he gives you basic directions. So what he says is that you are going to be going. If you vision Cornell as kind of an oval or a circle, where you are is at one of the peaks, and you're going almost all the way over to not quite a full circumference, but pretty close. From where you are, it's going to take about an hour and a half at a good pace to get to where he calls Giovanni's.
Oh well. With any luck, there'll be something left.
Might as well.
You know,
head out.
half of us could go there, and half of us could stay here and haunt the other two stores. It might be a better use of our endeavors. What was everybody hoping to get?
Well, I am fine. I can totally go to the general store and apothecary. Green Starter, you said that those were closer, correct? Green Strider?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
All right. Well, I can go. Anybody want to go with me? We can check. We can get basic supplies. I'm planning on getting vials and climbing supplies, some health potions if we find some just items similar items to help us for anything that we might encounter out in the wild. Just some things I've used in the past as well. Rations, etc.
Dracthor says, I'm with Uli.
I need that magic store.
I need to know if what Cinnamon is looking for specifically would be in a magic store or general goods. Because I don't
Alright.
really know.
What are you looking for?
Just general things to, like get ready to upgrade her weapon. And then Basile is looking for any types of like ways to catch wildlife, any books about the vegetation of the Flokar wilds, general ingredients, maybe a bag or a basket that could hold lots of things.
So then he is probably going to go towards the general goods store, and you feel like you need to go to the magic store, Cinnamon.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That'll be interesting.
I'm not sure that Dracthor would really understand the need for magic anything at the moment. He's done well with his bow and arrow and 2 short swords to this point. But he would understand and would have a lot to probably give towards the general goods store and possibly even the apothecary.
Okay.
So he's
Cinnamon
not
will-
really looking for a ton of stuff, though.
So Bram, as the only other person, where, if any of these 2 locations, are you thinking of going? Or are you going to do the other option for the moment?
Probably the other option for the moment.
Okay, we will get to you in just a moment. So let's tackle, just because it's closer, the general goods people. So that would be Bazil, that would be Uli, and Dracthor. Because it's
And before
Minerva.
I leave, I tell Minerva that, hey, if there's anything that looks useful or out in the wilds, I would be happy to pitch in and help pay for that. So I trust your ability. You seem to have quite some skill with useful things. So if you could just keep an eye out, and if you see anything, pick it up for me. I'd appreciate it.
I'll keep an eye out.
Thank you. That is all I ask. I appreciate you.
All right. So for our adventuring general gear shop crew, so you come out of the tavern, and I guess you all head out the tavern at the same time to go your separate ways. Some to the magic store, across the city, and the other ones just down the street. It's bustling. I'd say, Uli, you in particular, who have been through this city before, it's way busier than usual. But it's because of the influx of all of the various groups that are now part of this expedition. They're all on the exact same course you are of restock, resupply, get any gear that you need now. So I would say you recognize this, and Cinnamon going to the magic store would recognize this as there is a time to be nice, and there's a time to hoof it and try and get the best deal you can, because there are 5 other people in front of you who are going for the same deal. You just have to be the first person to get the last one on the shelf.
Black Friday shopping. Got it.
Yes. It's not violent. It's just you're in both of your minds. It's a sense of supply and demand. The demand is much larger than usual, and you wager the supply is not at the same level as the demand. So it's whoever gets there first, or can at least beat out the other few people to get the last thing.
Very well. We're power walking.
Yes, we are.
So, general store people. It takes about 15 minutes to get to the general store. Bartholomew's Bargain Bin.
Bartholomew's Bargain Bin.
Sorry, Bargain Basket. I don't know if you know what a
Bargain.
bin. That's more of a catch on my part.
Bargain basket.
And you kind of, at this point, you have to elbow your way in a little bit because there's a lot of people coming in. Uli, you know, there's a lot of people trying to get gear right now. So you're content to let the rest of your group try and window shop as best you can. You want to get straight to whoever is the proprietor or the person selling and to try and get your request in as soon as possible to ensure what you want, if you want anything, gets taken care of while there potentially is still stock.
So just out of curiosity, does Uli mention to Draxor that he wants to get to the front counter?
He would just start walking there. He'd just get in there.
Okay, because
Even
Draxor
this-
probably wouldn't understand that, but if you were to tell him, he would probably use his bulk to start moving people away as gently as he could. I mean, he wouldn't be a...
Well, Uli would actually ask Draxor if he wouldn't mind helping him clear a path. So, seeing your bulk and whatnot, and not wanting to get too close to people, Uli would mention to Draxor that, hey, we need to get to the front counter. Would you mind making a path? You seem like you'd be a great person for that.
So as he says that, Draxor shakes his head and starts walking up and takes his hands like this, kind of pushes them in between people and starts moving people and going, "Excuse me, need to get through." Starts moving people
Azil will
out of the way as gently as possible with all of his strength.
You know what? Go ahead and give me a strength roll. Just not to see how violently, but how successfully you part the sea of people.
Ooh.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Pretty quickly, Draxor, you start moving your way forward and just take your claws and just like. And in this particular instance, you are the only dragonborn in this store.
I
And
imagine
so-
that moves people too.
Yes. So that's everyone kind of moves away. And Uli, you take advantage of this to almost weave behind Draxor and just pop right up to the counter where there is a human, very winded, very tired, about 40s, 50s, bit of a 5 o'clock shadow at this point. Just, yes, what can I get you?
Good morning, my friend. I'm sure you've already had a long day, and I don't want to cause any more stress, so I'd like to get your help and get out of your hair as quickly as possible. And I'll place 5 gold on the counter, and this is just for giving us your attention. I really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. What would it be? Just one, or is it for a group? There's a lot of group orders at the moment.
This is also for an expedition group.
Oh, joy. Rips off a piece of paper. Yes?
Alright, I would like 5 lengths of rope. I would like a dozen pitons.
Batons?
You might. The pronunciation here might be pitons,
Pitons.
pitons. It's different from region to region.
It's like
Uh,
pecans, pecans, or pecans.
As many glass vials as you can get me. One hooded lantern. Any climbing gear you have, if there's any specialized climbing gear, I'll take that. 3 grappling hooks.
So Draxor looks at him and says, I have a grappling hook.
All right, 3 grappling hooks. Cold weather gear. Let's see. And I believe that's it. Anything that you can think of, Dracthor?
Tents.
Any
Tents would be good for, especially up in the higher altitudes.
tents, rain gear, any fishing gear, tackle would be great. If you have any trapping material, that
There's.
would be fantastic. But we can. I'll lean over to Darth. If they don't have trapping material, we can make some. I know how few. And I'm sure you do as well, being from the wilds.
We can do that.
But Basil, do you have anything specific you are looking for?
Yes. So I need a bag that isn't too cumbersome, but can hold lots of things, and any books that you have about vegetation in the Flokar Wilds.
So at this point, the gentleman has been writing all this stuff down. Okay, let me see if I got this all right. All right. 5 links of hooks, a dozen pittons, a couple glass vials, a hooded lantern, climbing gear, 3 grappling hooks, some cold weather gear, a tent, some tackle, a bag, and a book on the Flokar Wilds. Is that correct?
Sounds like that. Sounds correct.
I'll see what I can do. He will hand off the paper to one of the other workers, as you notice there are at least 5 or 6 people.
Oh, and any emergency rations?
I would actually say Cinnamon and Uli. You would notice this is a general store. The entire front has been cleared out. Normally, when you come into a general store, there is some stock and merchandise at the front, and you pick it up and you bring it over to the counter to pay for it. There is nothing. Either it's all gone, or they took everything, brought it behind the counter,
To avoid looting.
and are-
Probably so people wouldn't steal it.
Yes, as you notice the 3 guards armed behind the counter. Which, Uli, you would know is very rare. This is a general store. So without having to roll, I would say Uli in particular, having been in the city before, you recognize that the amount of money that the city has had to pay to get guards at various places to act as extra security is unheard of. In fact, you would wager there are probably some mercenaries somewhere acting as guards. Just to have armed bodies as protection. This is unheard of.
I'm going to assume that Draxor has been in this area long enough to at least understand what the gold is for.
Yeah, I'd say
You wouldn't have needed it in the mountains.
No.
Oh, and can I add a couple more map papers so that I can see if I can get just because I don't think I'll be here or be back in civilization. So just any more papers for maps that I can get.
Right.
Just top myself off.
Draxor
Right.
looks over at Uli and says, "We can always use animal skins too."
That's a good point, but it doesn't work very well for the precise work I do for my maps. Everything else, I'm fine with that, but map making is a very precise art, and I do not want to risk misrepresenting what we find because of a flaw in the skin.
So I will say that just based on Tractor's ways so far, you probably find that Draxor is much more attentive to everything you say, Uli, because you actually talk to him not like an animal. Which I'm assuming, being a dragonborn in an area that doesn't see too many, he's not generally treated like somebody who just you speak to him like you would somebody else. So that's probably the reason why he appreciates you. So
Yeah, never mind all the food that Basile's made for you.
well, Bazil already won his way. Yeah, he's so Draxor will probably always try to put Bazil behind him in a fight because of that. I want food when I'm done.
It's like making notes on the door of a shelter pet. Highly food motivated.
We'll fight for food.
Yes. We'll do anything for food, really.
All right. Uli, I need you to roll me. First, let's do persuasion. Then a straight d20.
Do I get any advantage with the gold I gave him?
You know what? Yes, I will allow it. Give me that advantage. I'm just calculating the price of everything and just to see if you have it on hand and if you get a discount.
I got a 17.
Okay. And give me that straight 20.
8.
8. Okay. Which ones? So they come back and they can only give you 3 lengths of rope. They don't have any climbing gear. And they can only offer you 1 grappling hook. Everything else that you've asked for, because I made a list, is there. That'll be 242 gold, please.
Alright. I'll look over at Bazil and Draclor. Well, I have my 200. You have the others pitch in when they get back if there's anything. But
So Draxor opens up his pouch of gold and says, "How much do you need?"
I was gonna say, how much do you need?
well, so 240. If we can split it up between the 3 of us, that'd be 80 gold pieces each.
Done.
Draxor pulls out 80, hands it to him.
Basile does the same.
And I
Alright.
will give all of those to you.
Jesse, write this down. You have 3 lengths of silk rope. That's what the persuasion went towards. You got better rope.
Nice. Okay. That's
You
a
got-
50-foot length.
Correct. You got your dozen pittance. You have 8 glass vials. 1 hooded lantern, 1 grappling hook, 2 sets of cold weather gear, 2 tents, 1 box of tackle.
Like fishing tackle?
Yes. 1 decent bag for Bazil. They didn't have the book. And you have 6 good quality map parchments. So add that 6 to your existing.
All right.
And if it helps, since there's no book, Draktor turns to Bazil and says, I know the plants in the mountains.
You do you?
Well, he's a ranger, so yeah, that would be right up his alley.
Perfect.
Coming
He's
together.
already thinking of all the different dishes that he
He,
might be able to make.
he may
Nobody
not.
nobody caught the Kronk reference? Oh yeah. It's all coming together. Come on. It's
yeah.
the gift.
He may not understand that his burning compatriot doesn't need water, but he
There's your one, Steph. And you haven't even gotten to the magic story yet.
I know.
It was worth it.
So, for our general goods store crew, is there anything else?
Well, we'll just head to the apothecary next.
Okay. We'll tackle that next only because it's going to be... we'll switch the other one. We'll just come back in time since the apothecary is a couple doors down from the general goods store. So, for our magic troop, Minerva, it is you and Cinnamon going through the streets. It's very busy. Steph, you're muted.
Bram's not with us, I take it.
Bram is not with you at the moment.
His absence is conspicuous and noted. Continue.
We'll get to you, Bram, in just a moment. So, the streets, like with the others, are pretty packed, very busy. Minerva, Cinnamon, go ahead and for crowd management, go ahead and give me, let's go some acrobatics. How well do you weave
boy.
through this crowd?
Oh, hold on. I'm on the seals. That's better.
14.
Acrobatics, you said?
Yes, this is just to see how you weave through the crowd.
13.
Technically should be athletics, but we'll make it to like physically weaving through the crowd. 13, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a slightly longer stride anyway,
I would
so I'll probably
say,
be leading.
yeah. Minerva, you're leading. The halfling is keeping up with you pretty well considering the crowds. In fact, I would say the two of you actually make pretty good time. Finn said it would take about hour to 2 hours to get there. You get to this place in about hour 10 minutes. You actually make fairly good time. Not great time, but you make pretty good time.
Nice.
And you come outside to a store that's what you would imagine on the edge of the upper class part of the capital. It is a lavish building. The architecture is pristine, and there's a giant sign in glittering letters that says Giovanni's Glamorous Gear.
Oh.
Glamorous.
And there is a line, like a
Of
mass
course
of
there
people trying to get in.
I'm gonna tell Cinnamon, wait in line. And I'm gonna try to go in, like, see if there. I'm going to the back of the alley and, like, seeing if there's a back door.
Okay. There does appear to be a back door, and there goes one of my d20s. Give me 1 second. I should probably get that before my cat decides to come downstairs.
Definitely
so go
before
ahead.
the cat. That's just
Yeah.
gonna be like a gumball machine into that cat's esophagus.
Right?
I don't know that the cat would be that dumb, but whap
It's
it
a
like
cat.
underneath. Whap it like underneath the.
Rachel, with love, it's a cat.
My cats
Okay.
are pretty darn smart.
Yeah,
Just
your
saying.
cats, not all cats.
Just like
I'd
not
say-
all dogs.
Mine
Cinnamon,
is.
you get in line. Minerva, you go to the back, and there is a back door.
I'm going to pull, like, I imagine as part of my thieves tools kit, there's like a tiny mirror on a stick. Like a dentist tool, like a telescoping rod on his with a tiny mirror on a stick, and I want to slip it like under the edge of the door and just like see if there's anybody standing guard on either side of the inside.
All right.
It's like some Mission Impossible stuff going on.
That's right.
There is no one.
I'm gonna crack the door. Well, first off, I'm gonna see if the door is like arcanely, protected. Can I roll some kind of a check for that?
Give me an arcana. If you would please.
I will. 19.
Oh, there is all kinds of juju on this door.
Does it look like it would react if I knocked?
You know what? Only because of your background. Please give me a wisdom.
Save? Or a check?
Check. And it's only because of your background that it's a check and not a save.
I rolled a 19 on the die plus 2, 21.
I would say you grit your teeth and sigh. It would be a very stupid person to try and tamper or knock on this door.
They take deliveries back here. They gotta alert somehow. I'm just thinking a knock is very polite. Fine.
I would say that 19, 21 on your wisdom, and then 19. This is not a amateur run-of-the-mill magic store. This is someone could get disintegrated, oopsie, kind of. I try to crack the back door, and and I just got disintegrated.
That's fair. That sounds about. Yeah, I'm rolling a new character. Fine. I look up. Is there like a second story window?
Where you are. It's hard to tell. I'd say, Cinnamon, at this point, you've moved ahead about 10 people. There's about 12 between you and the door.
Cool.
Minerva, as far as you can tell, there is. Even though the architecture is clean, it's pristine, you're having a hard time telling if that is windows or window dressing.
Right, like fake windows, like Disneyland windows.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Cool. All right, I'm gonna just wander back to the top, to the front, to the line with Cinnamon.
By that point, it's now 7 people in line. It's actually moving really quickly.
That's good. Sorry, didn't mean to waste time.
Oh no. I'm just like, okay, she's going to attempt to break into the magic store.
Oh, I didn't want to break into you make it sound so nefarious. I just wanted to get in and buy stuff.
Well,
I'm not
Stephanie,
actually.
it is you.
Fair.
I don't listen. What do you want?
I know you, Steph.
I'm not gonna steal. I just want to get in there
Borrow.
faster than everybody else, so I can
That's what
spend
she
money.
said. No, sorry,
I'm-
that's what he said.
I'm here to enrich the local economy, traditionally.
Oh, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Says my former DM. He's like, I wouldn't trust it.
Nope. Don't do it.
I wouldn't trust it as far as I can throw it.
so it takes about 5 minutes for you to get to into the door, and you're told as you come in, you have 5 minutes to make any purchases. In which case, if you have not made a purchase, please exit the building.
Very well.
Says the mage, letting you in, holding a staff. And as you come in, 2 little beads of light hover over each of your heads. At the
Oh,
moment,
boy.
it is a muted white light.
Okay. Cool. What were you here for, Cinnamon?
Components for my weapon.
It is a most unusual weapon. What are the components?
Don't know that yet. I have yet to see this thing in real life.
Working on it right now, too.
A
Let's just
character.
say, let's say, Cinnamon, you have a list of components that, from a book, gifted to you by the general, regarding your weapon and how one could deepen the connection to it that it produces a new form. Okay? And the components thus far for the next level would be you do the math and it comes out to about 100 gold worth of wood, metal, not precious gems, but well, precious gems, but not diamond,
Like
sapphire,
semi-precious gems.
it's the semi-precious gems. So it's about 100 gold worth of materials to move
Okay,
forward
of-
with just the material cost.
Okay, so altogether 100 gold, not 100 gold each.
Yes.
Okay.
This is off the fly, off the top of my head. I know I have to. So, you get into this building, and it is bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside.
Not surprising.
It is a magically enhanced building. Lots of people around.
Nice work.
And there are everyone has white lights on their heads. But you notice a couple people, the white light turns red.
Their time is up.
And all of a sudden, when that happens, regardless, they're suddenly magically pulled to one corner of the room and they just disappear. So I would say Minerva especially. They're not kidding when they said 5 minutes.
Great. I look at
Okay.
Cinnamon. We need to boogie.
Okay, let's do this quickly.
Do you feel comfortable shopping on your own?
Yeah, that would be easier for the both of us, I think. Save time.
We'll be. I assume we'll be pulled out of here at the same time to the same place. So, ta.
Both of you rolled me just a straight T20. Let's see which one of you gets Giovanni and which one just gets one of the various workers.
I rolled an 8, so I assume I'm just gonna get one of the workers.
Cinnamon, you get one of the
Okay.
workers.
Yeah, kind of
So
figured.
we'll take care of you first before we deal with the man that is Giovanni. So, Cinnamon, when a worker comes up very quickly. Hello, welcome to Giovanni's Glorious Gears. What can I get you today?
Cinnamon's going to assume that wood's going to be fairly easy to come by, so she's going to ask for some metal and some of the the semi-precious gems that we had talked about. And if they happen to have wood, then sure.
Okay. I just did a quick check. She brings up a book and the pages on their own. Oh, you're in luck. Everything is in stock still.
Oh, geez.
And
okay.
after, it'll be about 120 gold.
Okay.
I was worried this would happen. When demand is high, so prices rise with them.
Got you. Okay. So. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Unfortunately, I even say Cinnamon, you recognize inflation's happening right now.
Yeah.
Even the semi-precious stuff, you think it's probably the semi-precious stuff getting bumped up just a little bit.
Okay, so it's not like I'm getting scammed and they're going to give me crap quality. It's going to be what I need, but
At a higher
Just
price
at a
because
higher
of demand. Yes.
High demand, low supply.
yeah,
High price.
Correct. And that's the wonder of when I've seen how you guys do shopping, because today, everyone's shopping for the exact same stuff.
well,
Yeah.
knowing how quickly this is going to go, she'll be like, fine, done. And she'll hand the
Alright.
guy 120 gold.
So I would say I'm going to write down, you have the components needed to study the next stage of your weapon. You just have to do, like with magic, learning a new spell, the time it takes to forge your keychain. So you have the components to forge your keychain. You just now need to spend the time forging.
The book
The
I
next-
have from the general has like all the info I need, though, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. Okay. Easy peasy. She'll grab her stuff and stand in the corner and wait to be disappeared.
Meanwhile, Minerva, very quickly after Cinnamon is helped, this gentleman, I'm just going to do to all players, or we'll just show to all players just for the moment.
Oh my.
A garish, full elf with long ears, auburn hair, brilliant green eyes, just hovers like right up to you. Welcome to my magic store. What can I get you today, fine lady? I am Giovanni.
Hello. I assume, is he literally hovering like about a few inches off the ground? Like,
Oh yes.
hi, would you mind if we talked at eye level? This is.
Oh, I am terribly sorry. He raises his knees and lowers himself, so he is still hovering. But now he's
Yeah,
at eye
I-
level.
I suppose the smart thing to ask at this point, hello, Giovanni, is what hasn't been picked over.
Oh, it depends upon what the lady is asking for. We have so many things, also little things, depending upon what you need.
I need one small precious gem. Semi-precious, even.
One small
Make it-
semi-precious.
Garnet, if you have it.
You're lucky. Last one in stock.
How much?
30.
Very well. I also was wondering if you had anything to augment lightning damage.
Lightning damage. In which way? In the arcane? On a weapon?
Yes. Perhaps to make it more deadly or hit more accurately.
Unfortunately, any items that might have aided in that have already been purchased at this point in time.
I figured.
Got you, Rachel. Sorry about that. It's your
You're good. I
father's
just
notes,
wanted to
not
make
from the general. Your father. My apologies.
Grandfather. My father's a chef. It's a weird thing.
Boy, have we got some interesting backgrounds here.
Just you wait.
Just a
you
dumb
got-
dragon.
Have you got anything that will cast mending?
Unfortunately, most of our stock on that is already gone, unless you already know the spell itself and just need the components for it. Unfortunately, all our spell scrolls and items that had it are all gone.
There's only so much I can hold in my brain. I was hoping to have an item to hold the spell for me, but I understand. Do you have, perhaps, an immovable rod or something of that nature? A bag of holding?
Oh, I do happen to have one of those things. I believe we have one immovable rod in our inventory at the moment for about 1,400.
And in your inventory it shall have to stay, unless you take lines of credit.
Unfortunately, this time I
I
am.
thought so.
Giovanni does not wish to pry. Giovanni does not wish to scam. Demand is high, and certain items are in very high demand.
Yes, I might have noticed. You seem a man of scintillating and singular intelligence. If you
Oh,
were
thank
going
you.
off into the Flokar wilds with naught but a group of strangers whom you barely trust and probably aren't going to become friends with many of, what would you bring along?
Aside from a sense of humor and a sharp pair of eyes.
I have one of those things too.
Giovanni can guess which ones those are. I would recommend. Ooh, Hector has some wonderful herbs. A good potion would not go amiss. If he still has them.
Thank you.
You're
Hope when I'm
welcome.
if I come back in town, I hope to see you again.
Giovanni is apologizing for the fact that you did not have all that your heart desired. However, I do hope you've enjoyed your stay at my very humble establishment. And next time you're in Cornell, look up Giovanni's cloak.
Good day.
A
And I'll
good
go
day.
stand next to Cinnamon and act. You might just see a tiny bit of a smile creeping up on her face, just a little bit. Because my character and I both have a thing for redheads.
Speaking of redheads, the little light above both your heads, about this point, turns red, and in a little hallway you didn't see off to the side, the two of you are whisked away, and then suddenly find yourself boop, popped outside.
Oh. Do I see any familiar faces like I would have seen when I was on the perch on the roof this morning before dawn and watching people stagger home? Do I see anybody that showed up on my radar then?
Go ahead and roll me a perception.
– 14.
Not that you're aware of at this moment.
Okay. I look at Cinnamon. Did you get what you needed? Cinnamon.
She's muted.
No. Did you get-
Absolutely is what I said. Sorry.
I've been redirected to Hector's. Would you care to come?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And we are going to pivot back to Bram. Or Bram. I forget, it is Bram,
Whichever.
not Bram.
Bram, like Bram Stoker.
So while these two shopping endeavors are happening, Bram, what are you doing as you leave?
I'm gonna go up to the bartender and retrieve my new deck of cards.
He recognizes you and reaches down and passes you your new deck.
Okay. I will toss him a gold. And I'm going to go sit down, and I'm just going to take my hat off and place it on the table and take out my glasses and put them on. And I'm going to take the cards out of the deck and just start meanly... Not meanly. Very inconspicuously, just kind of shuffling them and kind of fanning them out, looking, just kind of looking them over, basically just checking out the cards.
All right, go ahead and just give me a. Let's give it an investigation. See.
16.
16. So I would say that at cursory glance at the moment, you specifically recognize 3.
Okay.
There's a selection of about, in this particular case, 12 names.
Okay.
You recognize 3 of them. And go ahead and just give me a constitution check. You're strong-willed. Let's see how well you...
It's going to be a 21.
21. You don't let it show. You've mastered control of your face when you need to, especially something kind of shocks you, or not shocks you, but kind of catches you slightly off guard. And as the 3 names cross, you're able to control yourself, but there's a familiarity with those 3 names.
Okay.
The rest at this moment you are not aware of. But those 3 you know.
Would you like to send me those names?
Sure thing. I will do that after this. Anything else for you?
Nope.
Okay. And that's going to be you for the afternoon. Just kind of going through the cards.
Yep.
Very well. Only because I'm going to ask this now. Are you going to, with the previous name, or the previous recognition from the night before, were you going to act on that, or were you going to let bygones be bygones?
No, we're going to act on it.
Okay. So we will actually do that now, before we hop to Hector's for the last thing for the evening. So I would say that individual, for whatever reason, decided to stay in the Yawning Ogre. Most of the clientele went out into the city. Yanni Ogre is not a. It's a middle tier establishment. It's not the last place one would look, but it's also not the first place one would look. It's just off in the corner, unaware of you. How do you wish to approach this?
Is this person drinking anything by chance?
Yes,
Okay.
they are.
I will go to the bar and ask the bartender to make me something a little special for our friend.
How so, sir? Do you need something on the stronger end, or do you need something a bit more casual?
Something a bit on the stronger end.
Just what you need. Comes back with the bottle. Oh man, it doesn't pick up the bottle.
No.
Why do I even bother? Why do I even bother?
Right? Yeah. It didn't get the.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a good mic, so it cancels out a lot of stuff, but it loses the little. So he glugs a bottle into a cup, places it down, pours a regular, passes both to you.
I'm gonna go over to this table. I'm gonna hand him the stronger one, just casually sipping mine, and give it probably 20-30 minutes before it kicks in.
Go ahead and go ahead and roll me a persuasion.
Okay. That would be my first nat 20 of this campaign for a 22.
They rolled the exact same on both die, not a nat 20. So you smirk to yourself. They are so not paying attention, not caring. It's almost sad how easy this is.
Almost takes the sport out of it.
Almost takes the sport out of it. It's just takes the drink, doesn't even register that you leave the drink, walk away. And about 30 minutes later, you look over and, well, they're a bit unresponsive at the moment.
I will walk over and check some vitals with a 14. And that was a medicine roll, by the way.
They are stable.
Okay.
For the moment.
I am going to... Oh boy, this is going to be a pain in the ass. I'm going to, like... I'm not strong enough to, like, fireman carry this person because my strength is garbage. But I'm going to, like, throw an arm over my shoulder and just ask the bartender which room this person is supposed to be in. Like, hey, they've passed out, and I'm going to take the person back to the room.
All right. Just for giggles, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Strength, just a straight strength or a strength save.
Strength check.
Oh boy. Oh, come on, an 11. It's a 12 minus 1.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, would that be an advantage because he is passed out?
You're unfortunately no, because this was just a
No,
carry.
just the carry, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's a good thing you got the strong stuff because you drop him at least once, like full on drop.
I love it.
But you do manage. It is. I'll say you're able to play it off as the friend getting their drunk friend back to their room.
Okay,
You do drop them at least once. Thankfully, you had that nat 20,
right?
so they're still out.
Okay,
You get them back to their allotted room.
okay. I'm going to get them back to the room. I'm going to put the gentleman on his bed. I'm then going to take my dagger out. And I'm going to stab him in the neck.
I am going to ask you only this once. How do you wish to present this?
Not like a. It's not like. It's not a Dexter crime scene by any means. It's just like it's a quick, very clean, just enough to puncture the artery, and kind of roll him to that side. That way, any of the blood is gonna soak into the pillow, the mattress, the straw, whatever it is, so that it would probably take a little bit longer to find said person.
Did you basically just Sweeney Todd that guy?
I kinda. minus
Let's
minus the garbage chute.
True.
Yeah, I would say you're able to. It's a clean disposal. No struggle. In fact, you would think they barely felt it.
I will kind of peek out the door, make sure the hallway's clear. I will walk to the bartender. I will pull out one of the only remaining cards from the other deck. I will write an X on it. I will hand it to him, and then I will walk out of the bar.
Okay. I would say within in less than 10 minutes, you feel something tug at your corner of your jacket.
Okay.
You look down and you see a street urchin, about 8 years old, look up at you with these big saucer eyes. Excuse me, mister? Couldn't help but notice you dropped this. It's not safe to leave your coin purse around.
I'm gonna kind of pat my back and. Indeed, I did
still
drop
ha-
it. Thank you, there, young lad. And I'll toss him a silver piece and take the pouch.
And you take the additional coin purse and add it to your existing coin purse that never left your side. Go ahead and add 200 gold pieces for the mark. And unfortunately, it is around 10 o'clock. So unless we also want to do a quick trip to Hector's, but I don't think it would be quick. I think this as... Where are you headed, Graham?
I'm just gonna kind of casually make my way toward the gate, and just smugly sit there flipping through my cards until the rest of the group shows up.
Very well. So I would say that just because of the time, as the rest of our compatriots make their way from across town, from the magic store, from Giovanni's over to Hector's, this is where we will have to close the evening because it is 10 o'clock and I know some people do not want to stay up for another 30 minutes just to do one last shopping thing before closing out the night. So I think this is where we're going to close session 2. Thank you all for coming back to Campaign 2. Hope you, again, enjoy the session. Video will be out shortly. We will be back next week for number 3, and we should have a Basile next time. But thank you again. We hope you've enjoyed. We are the Holy Rollers. God bless. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.